Hello everyone, I'm Nysha, and being a native speaker myself, when I use certain words while speaking in daily conversation or with my students, they sometimes get puzzled and wonder, what word did Nysha use? See, textbook English is quite different from everyday English that is generally spoken by natives. If you are unfamiliar with slang words, it can sometimes make things quite difficult for English learners while watching a movie, for instance, or even while speaking to a native speaker. Have you experienced that before? Native speakers naturally use a lot of slang words to communicate in English. It just sounds so natural when they do that. Therefore, I have prepared a great slang word series where I will teach you 50 slang words that are commonly used by native speakers in everyday conversation, and many of them I use myself too. This is a 5-part lesson series, and you're watching the first part of this series. Each lesson will cover 10 great slang words to help you speak English fluently and confidently. Sounds exciting? Let's begin. The first word is cagey. Cagey. What does it mean? It means something secretive. Cagey. Say it with me. Cagey. Here's an example. Everyone knows about them being a couple. They need to stop being so cagey. Nice way to say secretive, isn't it? The next word is bomb. Bomb. Don't get scared. We're not talking about explosives here. This slang word simply means something really good, like really, really good. If you want to express just how good something or someone is, you can use this word. For example, the chicken curry my mother made the other day was bomb. I mean, to say it was really, really good. Did you ever imagine you'd be using such words to express yourself and be perfectly understood by native speakers? Well, this is the magic of using slang words. Let's move on to the next word. Crass. Here's the pronunciation. Crass. Say it with me. Crass. Which means stupid or insensitive. If someone ever acts or speaks without considering how other people may feel and possibly offend someone, then this is the perfect slang word to use. The word is crass. It's not our fault. I don't know why she spoke in such a crass manner. I never pay attention to his crass comments. Moving on to number 4. To pig out. Pig out. Again, this has nothing to do with pigs. It simply means to eat a lot. Are you a foodie? Well, then I'm sure you will use this word a lot. So the next time you eat too much, don't say, oh, I ate too much or I ate a lot. Say, I pigged out. For example, I completely pigged out last night at the barbecue. The food was so delicious. Now, bring our next word. After eating too much, we usually feel quite full and sleepy, don't we? But the next word has nothing to do with actually sleeping. The word is sleep on. Sleep on. So if it doesn't have anything to do with sleep, then what does it mean and how should we use it? To sleep on in slang means to underestimate something. That's right, you wouldn't have guessed that one, would you? Ever thought of skipping watching a movie or series because it may not seem interesting? But then you think, okay, why not? Let's watch it for a few minutes and then decide. Then guess what? That movie or series grabs your attention and turns out to be really bomb. And you can't believe you were just thinking of skipping watching it. So how do you express this emotion in slang? You could say, I was going to sleep on watching Money Heist on Netflix, but it's actually bomb. Here's another sentence. Don't sleep on her cooking. It's really tasty. That was an interesting one, wasn't it? Let's move on to the next slang word. Beat. What on earth are we going to beat? An egg, perhaps? Nah. By now you must have guessed that you cannot put a literal meaning to slang words because their actual meanings are quite different. So what does the word beat mean then? Can you guess? It simply means to be tired. Yes, it means to be really tired. So next time you're tired, don't say I'm tired. Use the word beat instead. Say it with me. Beat. I was so beat after that long workout at the gym. Beat. To follow, our next slang word is flaky. Flaky. Does it remind you of peeled skin or maybe snowflakes when you hear the word flaky? Let me tell you that the word flaky in slang means someone who is indecisive. Basically, someone who just can't make up their mind, saying or doing one thing at one time and then all of a sudden changing their opinion and doing or saying something else. So if someone cannot make up their mind easily and is very indecisive, you can call them flaky. I find him flaky and I never trust anything he says. He always changes his words. Moving on to slang word number 8. If you want to express just how bad something is, I mean really bad, it could be a movie you watched, could be some food you tried, or could be an experience, then use the word sucked. Sucked. You can also use it with the pronoun it before the word to describe something bad or of poor quality. Here's an example. Hey, how was the party last night? It sucked. Not many people came and the music was so boring. We're almost done now. The next word is sweet. We usually use this word to describe food, drink, or a person, don't we? But did you know that it has a completely different meaning when it's used in slang? The word sweet means great or fantastic. So if something is great, or you want to use the word fantastic to describe it, say sweet instead. For example, have a look at this conversation. Hey, did I tell you I'm going on a Caribbean cruise? Oh, really? That's sweet. And the last word of this lesson is to describe when something doesn't go as one would expect. Basically, when something is a huge disappointment. The correct slang word to express this would be bummer. Say it with me, bummer, which means a complete disappointment. And here's how you can use it. We will have to cancel today's picnic because it's raining heavily. Such a bummer. Now let's quickly revise the slang words we've learned today. Cagey, which means secretive. Bomb, which means really good. Crass, which is used to describe something or someone stupid or insensitive. Pig out, used when we eat a lot. Sleep on, do you remember what this means? This means to underestimate something or someone. Beat, which means tired. Flaky. We use this word to describe someone indecisive. Sucked. Something of poor or bad quality. Sweet. Used to mean great or fantastic. And lastly, bummer. Used to express when something is a huge disappointment. Hello and welcome back to part 2 of this 5-part series where you will learn 50 great slang words to sound fluent in English. In part 1 of this series, we replace some commonly used words to express ourselves with slang words to mean the same thing. In today's lesson, we are going to learn 10 more slang words to get one step closer to sounding like a native speaker. Are you ready? Let's go! The first one is gizmo. Say it with me. Gizmo. Any idea what this could mean in slang? If you're a person into electronics and technology and keeping up with the latest trends, you may own several gizmos. Have you guessed what a gizmo is? A gizmo in slang simply means a gadget. This word can also be used to refer to a gadget you do not remember the name of. Let's look at some example sentences. Can you remember the name of the latest gizmo ad we saw on TV yesterday? So there you go. Next time you want to refer to a gadget in conversation with a native speaker, go ahead and use the word gizmo and they will perfectly well understand you. Moving on to the next word. If someone is temporarily out of prison, that is known as bail, isn't it? Well, you must be wondering, why are we talking about prison and bail? That's because our next slang word is in fact bail. Thankfully, in slang, bail means to leave, cancel, or back out of something. Ever had to leave suddenly from somewhere? Or you just changed your mind and decided not to go someplace? Then, as natives would call it, you bailed. Here's some examples. My friend was going to join us for lunch today, but she bailed at the last minute. I was feeling quite unwell at the event, so I had to bail last night. See, interesting ways to use the word bail. Our next slang word is check out, which means to take a look. Used to ask someone to look at something. For example, check out her latest post on Instagram. Everyone is talking about it. Hey guys, come check out photos of my new house. It's got an amazing view of the city. Next, we have the word shotgun, or to ride shotgun. In slang, the term shotgun is referred to as the front seat of a car. So, for example, if you and your siblings are fighting over who's going to sit in the front seat with the driver, then simply shout out shotgun and you will get the chance. For example, I'm riding shotgun to the party with Dad. Molly has been riding shotgun all week. I want to ride shotgun today. Now we're halfway down the list of today's slang words. Let's look at the remaining. Our next word is the opposite of cool or fantastic. Something really uncool and not nice. And in slang terms, that type of a thing is called lame. The pronunciation is lame. Say it with me, lame, meaning the opposite of cool or fantastic. He thinks he's really cool, but to be honest, I find him quite lame. No one is laughing. That was a lame joke. Better luck next time. Our next slang word is busted. Say it with me, busted. If someone is caught doing something wrong or something they shouldn't be doing, then it would be fair to say that they got busted. Caught doing something wrong. For example, I thought I'd get away with it, but I got busted for breaking the traffic light. Damn! Has that happened to you? Because it's happened to me several times. So what did I get? I got busted doing that. Please make sure you follow the traffic rules while on the road so you don't get busted. We're almost done now. 4 more to go. The next word rhymes with pram. Any guesses? What is our next slang word? The word is cram. And what does it mean in slang? Have you ever studied a lot just before an exam? I know I have. And even stayed awake all night to study for your exam the next morning? Then what you have done is crammed. Okay, what you've done is you've crammed. To study a lot before an exam. And how can we use this word in a sentence? Let's have a look. Hey, I won't be able to go out this weekend as I have to cram for my maths test on Monday. The next two slangs are used with the preposition up. To show up and to screw up. Both have no similarity in meaning but are typically slang words used often. Let's learn what they mean and how we can use them. To show up, which means to arrive at an event. And here's how we can use it in a sentence. Hey, what time are you coming to the party tonight? Oh, I've got so much work. I don't think I can show up until late, so don't wait up for me. And then there is screw up, which in slang means to make a mistake. So instead of saying, oh, I made a mistake, in slang we would say, I screwed up. Say it with me, screwed up. For example, I completely forgot it was our anniversary today. Sorry, I screwed up. Oops. Has that happened to you before? Don't forget anniversaries. And the last slang term we have is in no time. We have heard of just in time, but what does in no time mean? It means very soon. Just like, for example, if you're practicing your English and you'll be able to speak fluently in no time. Our next lesson in this series will be on our channel in no time, so wait for it. Here's a list of what we learned today. Gizmo, which means a gadget. Bail, which means to suddenly leave. Check out, to look at something or someone. And you'd probably say, hey, check this out. Shotgun, or to ride shotgun. The front seat of a car, or to sit in the front passenger seat. Busted, which means to get caught. Lame, which means uncool and not nice. Cram, which means to study a lot just before an exam. Show up, which means to arrive somewhere. And screwed up, to make a mistake. And lastly, we have in no time, which means very soon. Today's lesson is special because I will not only cover slang words, but also some great slang phrases too, so that you can also learn to use them to sound more fluent. So without further ado, let's begin. The first slang term is in a New York minute. What do you think this could mean? What words come to your mind when we think of the city of New York? Bustling, lively, busy? As we know, the city of New York is famous for being a busy, fast-paced city. So taking from this, the term "in a New York minute" means to do something quickly, in an instant, without hesitation. Let's see how we can use this slang phrase. The service at our hotel was great. Anything we wanted was done in a New York minute. Wait right there. I'll be back in a New York minute. Fun way to say something was done super fast, really quickly, isn't it? Now moving on to our next word. If you're a gamer and enjoy playing video games, you may know this word. The word is wrecked, which means to be beaten or destroyed, especially in an online game. Any PUBG or Call of Duty players in the house? Well, then you surely may have been wrecked at some point. Let's see how we can use this in a sentence. He's in a really bad mood. He got wrecked in Call of Duty. So the next time you've been defeated in a video game, what has happened? You got wrecked. The word is wrecked. Moving on to our next word, nuts. Eating a handful of nuts as an evening snack is great, but in slang, the meaning of nuts is to go completely berserk, crazy. Can you please stop that loud music? It's making me go nuts. The crowd went nuts watching their favorite music band perform. Now we're moving on to our next word. When something is done right, we can say it's perfect. How am I looking today? Perfect. Is the salt in the pasta fine? Yes, it's perfect. But this is not how natives would say it. They would say it's on fleek. Say it with me. On fleek. Meaning perfect or perfectly done. Hey, how's my new haircut? And what can you say? You can say it's on fleek, meaning it's perfect. Now, if you're a fan of keeping fit, exercising, eating healthy and going to the gym, you may have seen some people looking extremely toned at the gym and in good shape. Now, natives would use the next two slang words to express someone looking in very good physical shape. The first one is jacked. Jacked, which means to be strong, having bulging muscles. And the second one is ripped, also meaning someone who has an extremely well-toned body with defined muscles. So how do you use these slang words in a conversation? Let's have a look. If you want to be jacked, you have to stop eating takeouts and go to the gym. He started working out 6 months ago and now look at him, he's so ripped, it's unbelievable. Next time you're at a gym, these words can come handy to compliment someone who is physically in very good shape, so do use them. Following on to the next word on our list. The word is brick. Brick. What could it mean? As you may have already guessed, it's not the ordinary brick used for construction. You may have come across this word in an English film or web series, and the word brick in slang means it's really, really cold. If the weather is really cold, some natives may say it's brick. Quite unusual, right? But that's the magic of slang words. Hey, wrap up in warmer clothes. It's brick outside. You wouldn't have guessed that one, would you? That's exactly why we need to learn slang words so that we can understand natives without getting confused as to what they actually mean. Let's move on to our next word. The word is crib. Crib, which means a house. Simply a house. It's an informal way to talk about a house. Hey, welcome to my crib. Instead of saying welcome to my house, next time you can say welcome to my crib. Let's all go back to my crib after the party. Nice way to talk about your house, isn't it? Crib, that's the word. Now, if something is rather ordinary, boring, or uninspiring, in slang terms, we can say it's vanilla. What does the word remind you of vanilla? Ice cream, right? Well, vanilla ice cream, although a classic, it's considered plain and ordinary and not rather exciting when it comes to so many amazing ice cream flavors that are available nowadays. So that's where the slang word comes from, vanilla. Something ordinary or boring. Do you like his dress sense? To be honest, it's so vanilla. What are you saying? You're actually saying it's so boring and uninspiring. Hey, how was the film you were watching last night? And if you found it boring, you could say, oh, it was so vanilla, I fell asleep. Make sure you don't make your English sound vanilla when you speak. And how will you do that? It's simple, by using the slang words you're learning in this series with me. Okay, on to the next slang term. which is I'm game. I'm game. This means to agree to do something. So if someone asks you if you'd like to do something and you want to agree, instead of saying yes, which is vanilla, right? It's boring, it's vanilla. You could say, I'm game. We're planning to go out tonight. Would you like to come? What can you say if you want to agree? You can say, yeah, I'm game. And lastly, we have the slang term, hit me up. Hit me up. Confused? Don't worry, we're not asking anyone to hit us when we say this. All we're saying is for them to call us or contact us. Yes, call. Here's how we can use this slang word in daily life. Hit me up when you reach home, okay? How many times have you wanted to check up on a friend to see that they've reached home okay? So instead of saying call me when you reach home, you could say hit me up when you reach home. Everyone is going to be there tonight. So if you change your mind, hit me up. So you're telling a friend who's busy that there's a party tonight and everyone is going to be there. And in slang, you're saying call me if you change your mind and want to come to the party. So what is the slang term? Hit me up. Now let's quickly revise the words we learned today and their meanings so that you can try and practice their usage. In a New York minute, which means really fast, instantly. Nuts, which means crazy. Wrecked, to be beaten or destroyed, especially in an online game. On fleek, perfect or perfectly done. Brick, do you remember what this meant? It means to be extremely cold. Jacked, meaning strong and having a good physique. Ripped, which means having an extremely defined or toned body. So jacked and ripped have similar meanings. Crib, which means your home. Vanilla, which means something ordinary, boring or uninspiring. I'm game. We use this to simply say, I agree. Hit me up, which means simply call me or contact me. So far, we have covered 30 great slang words in parts 1, 2 and 3 of this series. I hope you're using these slang words in your daily communication so that you can sound more like a native speaker. Today, we are going to cover 10 more amazing slang words so that you can not only understand but also speak like native speakers. Are you ready? Let's start. When natives want to say that they were able to get exactly what they desired, they call it to score. Yes, to score. Next time you've managed to get something you really wanted. For instance, say if you're trying to get the best seats to watch a show, you could say, I managed to score front row seats for the show tonight. So just like this, the next time you manage to get something you really want or desired, you can say, I scored. Moving on to the next word, tea. Or here is the tea. This phrase is often used in terms like, what's the tea? Meaning, what's the latest gossip? You can also say, spill the tea, which means to tell someone what the hot news is. Or just use it as a single word, tea, to refer to what's in the news. For instance, here's the tea of what happened in class today. Another example, come on, give me the tea about your date last night. You're simply asking, come on, give me the news. What happened? Our next slang word is used to describe someone who is extremely smart or clever. And such a person is called a whiz in slang. What is he called? A whiz. Ask Ben to help you prepare for your maths test. He is a real whiz. So the next time you want to talk about someone who is really smart or clever, you can call them a whiz. Say it with me, whiz. Our next word is lemon. Lemon. We're not talking about lemons in your fridge. If something is a lemon, it means it's of bad or poor quality. So if you've gone shopping and whatever you've purchased turned out to be of bad quality once you started using it, what could you call it? You could call it a lemon of a purchase. For example, that handbag I purchased was such a lemon of a purchase. Hasn't lasted even 2 months. Total waste of money. So that's the way to use this word. The next one is a fairly new addition on the list of slang words. And it's an interesting one too. It's a phrase actually. Who doesn't love diamonds? And more so if they're on your hands. The slang phrase is diamond hands. Diamond hands. It means to stick it out in a situation with high financial risk, particularly used in the stock market and where the seller holds on despite the ups and downs in the market. Here's how you can use this phrase in a conversation. Hey man, your shares are dropping like crazy. Sell them before you lose more money. And if you've got diamond hands, you would say, nope, I'm gonna hold on. Call me diamond hands, but I'm not selling. Now that takes guts to do when you're losing money, don't you think? But if you decide to stick it out in the hope for better times, what have you got? You've got diamond hands. Moving on. If you find someone's behavior strange and suspicious, you can refer to them as shady. Say it with me, shady. Stay away from that guy in college. He looks shady. Shady. It's best to avoid people who seem shady. Who knows what trouble they can bring? The word is shady. Following on to our next slang word of the day. Certain people have a great sense of style. And to talk about someone's great sense of style, you can use the next slang word, swag. Swag. So when you dress with swag, you have a keen fashion sense and confidence in your style. Here's how we can use this word. She walked into the party with so much confidence and swag, all eyes were on her. That's a great way to talk about someone's style and confidence, isn't it? What is it? Their swag. Do use it next time. To follow, we have an interesting word, ghost. For those viewers who get nervous or scared at the name of ghosts, please don't worry and don't get scared. We are not talking about real ghosts. To ghost means to suddenly ignore someone with no explanation or contact. It can occur online or in real life. Has that happened to you? You are in touch with someone and then all of a sudden they just stop contacting you. So what have they done? They have ghosted you. We went on a date, but John has ghosted me ever since. That's so not cool. Now, imagine if the person who once ghosted you is now back and won't stop contacting you to the point that it gets really, really annoying. This brings us to our next word. In slang, this person who is now constantly back to contacting you is being a zombie. And what are they doing? Zombieing you. That doesn't sound like fun, does it? Let's look at an example sentence. Peter needs to take a hint and stop being such a zombie. It's getting too much. Up next, we have the slang phrase, glow up. Glow up. What do you think this could mean? To glow up means a big improvement in someone's appearance. Glow ups are often given or done to by friends, like a makeover, for example. Why don't we give Sarah a major glow up for her birthday party? And our last word for today is goat. Are you confused? Although this slang term has nothing to do with goats, the meaning is a great one, where each letter in the word goat stands for something. Greatest of all time. Greatest of all time, goat. For example, her house party last weekend was goat. Wasn't that a great one to end the list today? So the next time you want to talk about an amazing experience, amazing to the point that it was like the best experience you've ever had, you could say that that experience was GOAT, greatest of all time. Do use it next time. Now let's quickly revise the slang words we've learnt in this lesson today. Score. That means to get something that you've been desiring. Shady, which means questionable or suspicious. Tea, or here's the tea, which simply means gossip. Whiz. We use this slang phrase to talk about someone smart or clever. Lemon, which means a bad purchase. Diamond hands, a high risk tolerance, especially financial. Swag, which simply means a great sense of style. Ghost, which means to suddenly ignore someone without explanation or contact. And it can occur online or in real life. Zombie, when someone who once ghosted you is back and won't go away. They are zombieing you. Glow up, a big improvement in someone's appearance. And lastly, GOAT, greatest of all time. Hello English learners and welcome to the last lesson of this 5-part series on slang words. By now, you must be well aware that the actual meaning of slang words is quite different from the words used to express something. Are you ready to learn the last set of slang words in this series so that you can not only understand natives when they speak, but also be able to confidently converse with them? Okay, come on, let's get going. Our first slang word is antsy. Say it with me, antsy. No, this word has no meaning relating to ants. Instead, it means feeling nervous or being fidgety or impatient. Imagine, how do you feel before an interview or before getting some important results, like your exam results, for example? You'd feel nervous and impatient, wouldn't you? But in slang, you wouldn't say, I'm feeling nervous. You'd say, I'm feeling antsy instead. I'm feeling so antsy. I'm going to get my results this afternoon. Antsy. Do use it next time. Our next word is trashed. Trashed. Say it with me. Trashed. And it's used when someone is completely and utterly drunk. Enough that they can't even get up. They're totally trashed. I had too much wine last night and I completely got trashed. I don't even know how I got home. So if you want to say that you or someone drank a bit too much, what would you say? You wouldn't say we got drunk, you'd say we got trashed. Now, next up we have shut up. Oh, no. I'm not telling you to shut up, my lovely English learners. I won't do that. So then what does shut up mean in slang then? If a native says shut up when you're giving them some information or you're in conversation with them, they are actually meaning that they are in total disbelief or are completely surprised to hear the news that you're giving them. And as a reaction to that news that surprises or shocks them, they would say shut up. Here's an example. Guess what? Jack asked me out on a date tomorrow night. And you'd say, no way, shut up. So it's a way to express surprise. Do use it. My boyfriend of 5 years finally proposed to me. I'm getting married. What would you say? Really? Shut up. Fascinating way to express being surprised or shocked, isn't it? Well, that's how slang words work. You can never put a literal meaning to them. Our next word is used for when we are extremely excited or eager to do something. And the word is juiced. Say it with me, juiced. Imagine your favorite pop star is going to perform in your city. Or, for example, you're about to celebrate your 18th birthday with a grand party. What would you be? You'd be really excited, wouldn't you? That's exactly what juiced means, to be extremely excited about something. Hey, I'm so juiced. I'm going to watch Justin Bieber performing live tonight. I've been juiced to go on this holiday to Australia for over a year. I can't wait. What's the word? Juiced. Now, juiced also has one more meaning, which means to be very drunk. I'm so juiced, I don't know how I got home. So depending on how you use the word juiced, it can either mean to be excited or drunk. So be careful how you use this word so that you are not misunderstood. Have you ever asked someone to do you a favor? There's a new way to say this in slang. And what would you say? You'd say, could you do me a solid? A what? A solid. Yes, you heard me correctly. Asking someone to do a solid for you means you're asking them to simply do a favor for you. Interesting choice of word, isn't it? I need to go to find a dress to wear at the wedding. Could you do me a solid and come with me? Hey, could you do me a solid and pick me up, please? So solid means a favor. Repeat with me, a solid. Our next slang term is I feel you. And it's used to express that you understand what someone is saying or feeling. Here's a conversation between two friends. You know, I miss my family so much. I can't wait to see them this Christmas. Oh, I feel you. See, it's a great way to say that you understand what your friend is feeling. So you can simply say, I feel you. It's a great way to say, I understand, isn't it? Now, sometimes we come across people who try too hard to be noticed or try too hard to impress others, sometimes going over the top. And in slang, we can call such a person as extra. Say it with me, extra. Frida was acting so extra in class today, trying to impress the new teacher. The word is extra. Here's the next slang word. I'm dead. You're not literally dead, but it's a way of saying that something has made you laugh so much that you've literally fallen to the floor, your eyes are watering and you just can't stop laughing. So if someone tells you a joke that is just way beyond funny, instead of saying, "Oh my God, that was so funny," you could just say, "Oh my God, I'm dead," meaning that you just can't stop laughing. So do use it next time. Now, if you enjoy someone's company, chances are that you probably want to spend a lot of time with that person. And in slang terms, we would say you'd want to hang out with them. The word is hang out. I hang out with a new group of friends now that I've moved to a different college. "Hey, you're great company. Would you like to hang out together sometime?" So instead of saying, "Let's spend time together," you can say, "Let's hang out together." And our last and final word in this lesson and in this series is stan. Stan, which means to be a devoted, a die-hard fan of someone, almost to the extreme, especially of a celebrity or a music group. So if you idolize someone, a celebrity, you could say that you are their stan. Michael Jackson still has millions of stans who will always remember him as a legend. Are you a MJ fan? If you are, then what are you? You are his stan. Wasn't that a great end to the list of slang words in this series? Now let's quickly recap the words we learned today. Antsy, meaning nervous, fidgety, or impatient. I'm dead, meaning dying of laughter. Trashed, meaning completely drunk. Shut up, meaning to be in disbelief or surprised by something. Juiced, to be very excited or eager to do something. Do a solid, do a favor. I feel you, means I understand, agree, or sympathize with you. Extra, trying too hard or being over the top. Hang out, to go out, spend time together. And lastly, stan, a devoted fan of someone to the extreme. There you go, guys. You have now learned 50 fantastic slang words and terms used by natives in daily conversation. So do try to learn and use them so that you can sound natural, fluent, and confident when you speak in English, especially with native speakers. If you like this lesson series, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. I'll see you again soon. Until then, take care. Bye.